Okay. I'll put my wallet away then. Thank you. Let's do this. Hello there, guys. Negative. So they did this was called the scratch test, and they everything looked good. Everything in the right spot. There we go. So this was the scratch test where they had vials, 6 vials, and then times 4, and then another 6 vials times 4. And it's to speed up the process. So in the vials is things like grass and tree, all these natural things that happen, pollen, mold, and all this stuff. So it's funny because they instead of doing one at a time and putting a dot on you, they can actually do all 6 at the same time because they're all set up perfectly in a row, and then they have like one bar, and then one bar has 6 little droplet things they put in. So the whole thing comes out, and they put it here, and then she puts it back, and she gets the next one, then she put it here, and then she put it back, gets the next one here, then here, 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 and there's like a little bit of a glycerine in it, so it kind of shines so she can see where she put it. And then she gets like it's like a little piece of metal, and then they scratch, and then they wipe it, scratch. They scratch every single spot that they put on you. And then you wait 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then they have one on there called the, what do they call it? It's like a special spot that they know you're going to react to, and everybody reacts to it. And it's like, there's a special name for it, and Mythbusters used to use it all. Oh my god, it's right on the edge of my tongue, right on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, so it's the one that they make sure it's working, like the whole system's working. So the only one that itched was right here on my forearm, and so I'm not allergic to anything on that list, and I think I had food and seafood and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not allergic to anything there. So now I have to come back in September because they only do a thing called the patch test on Wednesdays and Fridays. So that you come in on a Wednesday, they put all these patches with chemicals on them on your back, and you're not allowed to exercise or have a shower for those 2 days. So you shower on the Wednesday, you come in, they put all these patches, chemical patches on your back, and then you come back Friday, they take all the chemical patches off to see if you reacted to any of the chemicals. And it'll probably be like soaps and detergents, and they just want to narrow it down so I know what I'm allergic to. The nurse, so I saw the nurse, she did all the work on me, and then the doctor came in and talked to me about it afterwards. He goes, you're allergic to nothing that they tested me with today. We got to do the chemical patch now, and the only time they can do it is in September, because again, they only do so many people on a Wednesday, and again, you have to come back on the Friday and have them removed and checked. So they're so busy, they're booked all the way into September. Oh well, hopefully we get to the bottom of this eventually. So the nurse, she's like, there are people like you who, when they get hot and sweaty, they overreact to it, the sweating, the salt, and all that stuff, and it makes them very itchy. Some people actually get that in the cold. So she's like, you know, if you know you're going to go do a workout, if you know you're going to go cut the grass, take an antihistamine beforehand, and that might help. This one's really itchy, man. It might actually help stop me from being overly itchy. And so that's the advice of the nurse. Yeah, so she came out and actually, while I was writing down my next 2 appointments, she came out and she was curious what was on the list, what if I reacted to anything. But she told me some good information, which was to take antihistamine before you go and do something that you know is going to make you sweat like that. Anyway, so now I'm off to the Upper Canada Mall, and we are going to talk to the flight center, and I have a special person that works there that is like my travel secretary. I'm not, maybe not my travel expert and planner. That's it, my travel planner, and she is going to hopefully help me maybe change something on the travel plans for Paul and I, but I'll have to phone Paul and make sure everything's cool with him. I already did ask him, but we want to might change something on our travels. So let's get there and see if she's at work today. I hope so. Takes her sometimes 2 days because a lot of the flight centers out there have closed because of COVID. Nobody's traveling. They had all these employees, so they literally closed down. I think there's only like, I don't know, I'm thinking there's only 2 of these flight centers in Ontario. There used to be, I don't know, a lot. There was a lot. There was one in Barrie I used to like to go to, and I would go to the one here at the Upper Canada Mall, and the one in Barrie was one of the ones they closed. And the woman that helped me up there, she was awesome. She's the one who really helped me do my Japan videos or travel, because she had been there, and so she knew all this information that I needed to know. That's the best thing about going to a travel agent over booking it yourself, because she had tons of experience obviously sending people there, and tons of experience where she had been there and knew stuff that was a need to know kind of thing, and I needed to know anyway. So she unfortunately is no longer with the company because they let everybody go, unfortunately. It's always nice when you find that one travel agent who you work with for years, because they really know what you like and don't like what kind of hotels you like, or cars, and you know, especially with me wanting to travel more this year, or in the past, they knew what I needed and didn't need, which was super handy. They are doing lots of construction on this corner here. All right, let's go in there and see if we can talk to our travel agent. So my travel agent isn't in today, but she's working remotely from home. So we will go home, send her a new email, just ask her. The lady in there is super helpful, and she just said the closer you get to your date, if you make any changes, they have penalties that they apply. So if we can do what we need to do without any penalties, then we can change stuff. But if it's going to be expensive to change, then we're not going to change. We'll stick with the plan. All right, so I am going to do a quick visit to Paul at his house. I called him And I said I was at Upper Canada Mall, and he's like, dude, I'm at home today, drop by. So I'm gonna drop by for a coffee, although I'm drinking a coffee right now and it's still super hot, which is great, but it's almost done. So maybe Paul will make me a espresso. Not espresso, espresso. Had a good walk with Paul and Ace the dog, and we had a coffee before we left. Then we went for like a 4-kilometer walk, got some exercise in, which was great. So we talked about, once again, our lives, business, and all that stuff, and the Tickle Toad is doing really well, better than pre-COVID. So 2019 March compared to 2022 March, the one we just had, he did much better. So the Toad is on its way to recovery. So there's some good news from Paul, and we also discussed some of our road trips in the future when we go and start doing big hikes down in the United States and possibly into Quebec and somewhere else in Canada. We also want to go to Yellowstone. That would be kind of cool. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me on the second part of our 2-day, it'll be 1-day vlog, but I had to make it into 2 parts, just for you and just for you. All right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next vlog.